Stand for everything else. We're going to stand for a man of God.
Amen. Bless him, Lord. Bless him, Lord.
Let's all stand. We'll give a great big hand for Jesus and Brother Jeff Agg as he comes to minister the word to you.
Thank you, Jesus.
I want to thank the Lord for being here tonight. For an opportunity. Ones that's been in church with me for a long time knows I've run for a long time. But you can just run so far in this life.
Amen.
And as he was talking there, we all in this life don't fight the same kind of desires.
Come on, brother.
We all fight things different, and we handle things in a different way. And I was thinking about when they was talking a while ago, she was talking about Brother Ronnie. I think Brother Ronnie needs to be maybe on the front seat tonight and let this word sink in tonight.
Yes.
You know, a lot of people don't want to admit, but really we've all been failures to God.
Amen.
Well, the Bible says we've all sinned and come short of His glory.
Amen.
So we're not perfect. We're striving.
Amen.
And I don't know if anybody come here tonight and maybe was looking for Brother Larry, want him to preach, and if you are, maybe come back Wednesday. I'm going to do the best I can.
Come on, brother.
I've had this message for about 2 months now.
Bless him,
And
Lord.
just started to preach about a month ago. And I can only do what God allows me to.
That's right.
When I get done, I'm going to be done. I ain't going to fish around for something else.
Come on. Come on.
But I just want God to be God tonight.
Amen.
And I like to get a great anointing. And I told him here a while back in my testimony, I said, if I could be like Peter and Paul, I could do wonderful. But then I changed my mind. If I could do like these brothers that I sat under, I can do well. Because God has got a way to help us all.
Amen. Amen.
I'm going to read a couple scriptures here.
Bless you.
Bless him, Lord.
Bless you, Lord.
This is in Romans chapter 7, verse 14. It's kind of a tongue tire for me, but I'm going to try to get it out. It says, for we know that the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, sold under sin. For that which I do, I allow not. For what I would that I do not. But what I hate, that do I. If then I do that which I would not, I consent unto the law that it is good. Now when it is no more that I do it, but sin that dwelleth in me, for I know that in me, that it is my flesh, dwelleth no good thing. For to will is present with me, but how to perform that which is good I find not. For the good that I would, I do not, but the evil which I would not, that I do. Now if I do that I would not, it is no more that I that do it, but sin that dwelleth in me. I find in the law that when I would do good, evil is always present. You have to see.
Bless you, Lord. Bless your brother. Come on, Jesus. Come on.
I'll read this right here. It says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him.
That's right. Amen.
For all that is in the world is the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. And is not of the Father, but of the world.
Amen.
I had this little thing I was wanting to read, and then I'm going to try to get what God gives me. I wrote this down, I had it for a while. No matter what you are, a saint or a sinner, we've all got a free will.
Come on.
And a lot of times the things we ought not to do, for some reason we do them. And that's just part of life. And I think God understands that. But it's grateful to have a God that forgives. And I pray that y'all have patience with me. And if you say a prayer, just say one for me.
Bless him.
And the man I'm going to start out with tonight is a man that has been talked about many times right here in this church, is Samson. Samson was called to be a Nazarene from his mother's womb. And the angel of God had told her how to bring this child up, what he wasn't allowed to do. And I believe this mom done exactly what the angel of the Lord told her to do to him.
Yes.
But just like anybody else, when we all get a certain age, we don't want to listen to daddy or mom.
Come on.
And we go out in the world and we wander and see what we can get ourselves into. And that's what Samson done. And we'll look, the first thing he really done in life, he went down into this city and he found a woman that pleased his eyes. And we're going to use that for the lust of the eyes tonight. He saw her, he wanted her, he desired her. And that's the way it is a lot of times. We desire things that we shouldn't have.
Amen.
Because he desired a woman that wasn't even in the tribe of Israel.
Come on.
And that's just part of life. He goes back to his mom and dad and said, I met a woman and I won. But the mom and dad know the law of God and said, is there not one among your own people? But just like a lot of people, hard-headed, wanting his own way, he went down.
Yes.
And this started his downfall to a point to where he desired things. He wanted to marry this woman. And it goes on to talk about how he put a riddle for her. And how that he made a bet there in this by putting that riddle for her.
Yes.
So by doing that, he was committing sin and maybe not even realizing it. But this man that was called a Nazarene from the womb, amen, he just kept getting in trouble.
Yes.
He kept desiring lustful things.
Come on.
It said that he went down and all the things that, if you've done any study on a Nazarene, they wasn't to touch any dead things. And they wasn't to drink, they wasn't to do all these things, but it seemed like everything that he wasn't supposed to do, he done it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of goes along with that first reading. Our flesh desires things that we shouldn't want.
Amen.
And I'm grateful to God over these 30-some years that I've served Him, that He has been merciful to me.
Come on, brother.
I thought about many times, I used to be a person that was real judgmental and real fast to speak judgment. But over the course of a few years, God has mellowed me down to a place now I can show mercy where I once couldn't show it.
Thank you, Jesus.
Because we've all failed God.
Come on, brother.
Amen.
And, you know, as he went through that first ritual there with that woman, he didn't learn no lesson. He went over into another city and went into a harlot. Then he got over into another city where he met Delilah, the battle of his life. And we talk about how that we've heard it here many times about not being caught in the lap of Delilah.
Come on, brother. Preach it.
And sometimes in this life, what we do, we get too comfortable where we are.
Yes.
And I believe God's children is too comfortable in their lifestyle.
Yes.
And I believe that we have got so comfortable that we let certain things come into our life, and it hinders our walk with God. But I'm grateful that God he will send a shockwave
Yes.
to get our attention.
Come on.
And I was reading this story how that this man that was called a Nazarene was chosen to be a judge of Israel, just got too comfortable in his zone. And I kind of believe that the pride that this man had caused him to let him do many sins. And that's the way I think the church is right
Yeah.
now. I think that we allow too many little things to come in our way, and we think it's all right.
Come on.
I think a lot of times we'll look in we're hiding, people are hiding, and they're committing sin when they say, well, if the pastor don't see me, or Brother JR don't see me, or Brother Bo, Brother Dewey, or whatever the case may be, I'm all right. But we've got to remember tonight, God's got an all-seeing eye. He sees everything we do. He sees what we do. So we need to realize, even though we are a flesh and we're going to fail, that we got an advocate with Jesus Christ to get us back on track.
Amen. Come on, brother.
I went back through this, and I saw
Bless him, Lord.
he committed adultery on 3 different occasions. He touched dead carcasses when he shouldn't have touched them because that was against the word of God.
Amen.
He started telling lies.
Uh-huh.
And even though God's mercy was with him,
Come on.
and God spared him at the end of that journey.
Yes, it is.
And I think that's what we need to look at. We're going to fail God. I've been a failure on this
Yeah.
way. But I know God has forgiven me. That's what it's all about.
Amen.
But he put himself out there in a place that he shouldn't have been. And that's the way we are. And she's talking about Brother Ronnie. Don't be ashamed for your mistake.
Amen.
God is a forgiving God, Brother Ronnie.
Amen.
Don't hold your head down. Don't hang your head down. Because the devil wants your head down. You have to hold your head down and you only listen to the rest of God. Praise God, I'm trying to hold my head down. Give the devil praise.
Come on, preach it.
Amen. I'm thankful for what God's done.
Yes.
But I want to stay and move with God.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about this. Even though this man sinned in ways, he, at the end, he killed more in that one space than he did all his journey. And I got to think about, with all these sins that he committed, he only lost his eyesight when he could have lost his soul. But God was merciful to him.
Yes.
Sometimes we judge each other too strongly.
Come on, amen.
I used to be so bad, Brother JR. Man, I used to flat out really put people down. But I realized when things started happening to Brother Jeff that I had to learn how to have mercy.
Come on.
And God has taught me how to have mercy.
Yeah. Amen.
And that's like Brother Ronnie, when they said he failed, I prayed. Because I know that his weakness ain't like my weakness. And if we ain't got things different, and if we ain't got compassion on one another, I don't believe we've got God in our life.
Amen. That's right.
Amen.
Amen.
And so we need to watch and pray and let God have his way. You know, just because you might be called to be, we're going to use you a pastor,
Come on, brother.
don't mean he can't follow.
Amen.
Over this journey of life,
That's
I've
right.
seen some good people come, and I've seen them go.
That's right.
Amen.
If we get caught up in the devil's snare, it's really our fault.
Amen.
It ain't no bad thing to fall, but if you stay down, it's your fault. I'm
Amen.
going to get up and I'm going to fight. I'm going to do what God wants me to do.
Amen. Come on.
I'm going to talk about a little bit like King David. David was a little shepherd boy.
Bless you.
Just take care of his daddy's sheep. Wasn't much for us, maybe, in the way we would look at people. Like we look over this congregation and we might think, well, this ain't much. That ain't nature. That might be the one God calls to be a prophet.
Yeah.
He might use them to lay hands on the sick.
Amen.
That's right.
Our eyes look in the wrong direction.
Come
That's
on.
what I think of the spiritual part. But David was out there and he's taking care of his daddy's sheep.
Come on, brothers.
The Bible speaks how a lion and a bear came by.
Come on.
Yep.
And God gave him the anointing to destroy him.
Come on.
Then when the battle came onto Israel, had a bunch of cowards out there on that hill,
Come on.
but God sent David down.
Amen.
Just a young man.
Amen. Come on.
And he said, I'll go fight him.
Amen.
You know, and that's the way it ought to be. I think if God says do something, trust God in what he wants.
Yes, brother.
David went right down in that valley. I don't believe he thought one time about it. Because he knows God had been with him with the lion and the bear, and he knows he's going to be with him here.
Yes.
And that's the way the church ought to be. No matter what I face, God's going to be with
Yes.
me. And he's going to help me, and he's going to live me. And that's exactly what he done. You know, so we read this story that goes on down, how that God had worked many things with little David. And here we come from a little old shepherd boy to the king of Israel.
Amen.
Amen.
That David got comfort one time in his palace.
It is.
He was up on that rooftop looking down over his little kingdom. And he saw this woman down there bathing. Got them eyes up on that. A lot of times we get our eyes up on things we ought not to.
Amen.
Come on.
Sometimes our desire leads us into the path we shouldn't go.
That's right.
And I thought about, as God was showing me this, I thought, well, he had these other wives in here,
Come on.
and that's where he should have went back to, is to him here.
Uh-huh.
But no, he desired this woman. Sometimes your desires for things will get you in trouble,
Yeah, man.
and they will lead you to a place that God's going to show you something, and it's going to be a rough lesson. And as he sent for this woman, he brought her into the palace, committed adultery, and when he found out she was pregnant, he wanted to try to hide it.
Come on, man.
But what he don't understand, or at this time just blinded by lust or whatever it might have been, God sees everything. God saw him.
Amen.
Amen.
And he tried to hide his sins, but you can't hide nothing from God.
Amen.
That's what it's all about tonight. We can't hide nothing from God. If you fall down, get up, repent, and let God help you. And
Come on.
you know, if I would have stayed down all the times that I've been down, I wouldn't be here tonight. But I'm grateful to God tonight just for the opportunity. You know, and I'm thankful to God. But as he tried to cover up his sin of adultery, he tried to trick Bathsheba's husband into
Bless him, Lord.
going down
Uh-huh.
and laying with his wife, got him drunk. But I've got to say tonight, I believe Arias was more righteous than David at this time.
Amen.
And he had more integrity about him than David had at this time.
Amen.
But when David seen that he couldn't trick this man, he sent a death sentence in his own hand to Joab.
Amen.
Told him put him out on the hottest battle there was. And that's exactly what happened. In our life when we sin, we can try to hide that sin, or we can make our sin known to God, which you already know, but we can pray about it, confess that sin to God. But because David tried to hide this, his punishment was that the child she was carrying was taken from him. Kind of like the story when Nathan came up and gave the word to David about the story about the little ewe lamb. And he said,
Bless him, Lord.
when the judgment came, he said, thou art the man. Thou art the man, David.
That's right.
David passed judgment on himself, but God had mercy. If everything would have went like it should have been, David should have been a dead man.
That's right.
But God had mercy and took the child. Our sins in life will cost us something.
Yes, it will. Yes, it
And
will.
we better realize it's going to cost us something.
Yes, it is.
When you're a singer or a preacher or whatever you are, you can lose part of your anointing until you make things right. God ain't going to tolerate sin.
That's right.
And that's what's wrong in church. We're trying to hide things,
That's right.
Come on.
but you can't hide.
Amen.
Amen.
We need to face that up.
That's right.
If we would face our sins to God,
That's right.
even though it may be shameful to us, if we would confess it to God
Uh-huh.
and go on and make things right, we would have a better congregation. We would have a better church. We could see the miracles and signs and wonders of God.
Amen.
But when we try to hide everything we do, and think God don't see us anyway, then we're just fooling ourselves.
That's right. Amen.
Amen.
You know, talk a little bit more, and I'm gonna try. I'm in a hurry, I know, but God knows it. If anybody's got anything to say when I get done, just go ahead and feel right on in here.
That's the Lord.
But we're going to talk about a man that was given more knowledge and understanding. There wasn't a thing that this man didn't know about. God used him in a mighty way. He done great works for God.
Yes.
But I think sometimes that we might get too smart, that we may be dumb.
Amen.
Amen.
That makes sense to anybody.
Yes, it does.
I think too much learning can, kind of like Paul, I think was said, too much learning makes one mad. Or maybe those that judged him that day. And but anyway, in the book of Ecclesiastes, it talks about this. But here's a man that he sold out everything there was under the sun, and he said there wasn't nothing new. Everything's been, it will be, and it will be again. But we're not going to have no remembrance of certain things in life. But if God gives us, He says to ask for knowledge, wisdom, but we need to ask for the right amount. Because sometimes in life, when you got too much in life, you will lift yourself up with pride. And I've seen a lot of people that's been knowledgeable in God's Word, but they lift themselves up with pride. Then they come a downfall. You know, I want enough to just get me by,
Yes.
and maybe to help someone in this life,
Amen.
but I don't want it where it's going to get me in a trap.
That's right.
And the day I was sitting, and I done had it all, I guess, kind of figured out, or whatever you call it. And I got in there thinking about how in the 11th chapter of Kings, I believe it is, where it started listing all these things that a king was not supposed to do anymore. He brought all these strange women into his house. And no doubt to me, I got to follow out this. Probably every beautiful woman he saw, he wanted to add her here. But it goes on to talk about as he got old, they led his heart astray.
Yes.
They led him to worship other gods,
Yep.
building temples for those other gods.
Wow.
And so in life, all that he learned in life didn't really mean nothing. You can read that.
Ecclesiastes 1:8-17. All things are full of labor, man cannot utter it. The eye is not satisfied with seeing, nor the ear filled with hearing. The thing that has been, it is that which shall be. And that which is done is that which shall be done. There is no new thing under the sun. Is there anything wherefore it may be said, see, this is new, it had been already of old time, which was before us. There is no remembrance of former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after. I, the preacher, was king over Israel in Jerusalem, and I gave my heart to seek and search out by wisdom concerning all things that are done under heaven. This sore travail hath God given to the sons of man to be exercised therewith. I have seen all the works that are done under the sun, and behold, all is vanity and vexation of spirit. That which is crooked cannot be made straight, and that which is wanting cannot be numbered. I commune with my own heart, saying, Lo, I am come to great estate, and have gotten more wisdom than all they that have been before me in Jerusalem. Yea, my heart has great experience of wisdom and knowledge. And I gave my heart to know wisdom and to know madness. O folly, I perceive that this also is vanity, a vexation of spirit. Ain't that the truth?
Amen.
No matter what this man learned, and I believe he had a knowledge and understanding somewhere close to what God had. I believe everything he goes on. He says, "I've sought out these things." He sought out good things. When he talked about folly and sins, he sought these out, and I believe it come a snare to him. Really, all in our life, all we really need to know is what's good and what's right. Because I don't want no bad things happening in my life, but that don't mean they're not going to, because they are. But we ought to seek out the things that's right in our life. But that shows you, no matter what you are in God, you can fail. So let's don't judge each other. Let's pray for each other.
Amen.
And let God be God, because we ain't got the right to judge anyway. But we do. You know, we do a lot of times. I was going to read this while ago, and then Brother Larry's got anything to add to this, he's more than welcome. I want you to stand to your feet. Don't be afraid to say this to somebody. I want you to look at somebody and say this. Just because you were chosen of God, don't give you a right to willfully sin. That's the title of it. So thank you for listening.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
Ain't God good? Ain't God good? Let's give Brother Jeff a great big hand. We just gotta keep on, Brother Jeff. The name coming next month. Lord's help me on you. All the preachers we have, you got to take them to work. If you don't let them work, they'll sit down. The preacher's got to work. He's got to keep going. So, as Bud Jeff, I'm behind you all the way.